Will,
Hello.
have you seen Avengers Endgame?
What's that? I've never heard of it.
It's the latest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The 22nd film?
Yeah? Now you mention it, I have seen it indeed.
I've only heard about this movie through Fortnite.
Oh yes, of course, because you can beat up Thanos, or you can play as Thanos.
Yeah.
Some rubbish.
So right. I want to go over some spoiler-free stuff, and then we can go into ruining the entire film.
Sure, that's absolutely fine.
So, do you want to go first? Like, what are your kind of like spoiler-free
thoughts? I enjoyed it. Question mark. That's spoiler-free.
That's kind of also my opinion.
I think it had some. It had some good character moments. It had some interesting fight bits.
Yeah.
It had a fun plot that I didn't expect it to do.
I agree with that. I would categorize like things in this movie in like 3 categories.
Yeah.
Stuff that I liked a lot, like I thought was really good. Stuff that I absolutely hated. and then like the stupidest, most fanficky stuff I've ever seen in a movie, but I loved it anyway.
Okay, those are fitting categories, I believe.
Yeah, and we can kind of go into like what goes where in a little bit. I think it's probably going to be quite obvious. Like,
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I think we should just go straight into spoilers, because honestly, like, the entire movie is kind of spoilery. If you want to go into the movie like completely blank, like we can't really say anything. So spoilers from here. So let's do the plot really quickly.
Yeah. Okay. Would you like to start, or shall I?
You go for it. What's kind of happening?
So the plot. Are we going to describe the plot? Is that what you want? I don't do movie videos.
No. Yeah. Let's just. I don't want to go too deep into it because it will take forever. Like, it's a 3-hour-long movie.
Sure. So the Avengers gang, have to stop Thanos. They stop Thanos, and then
they do.
They realise, oh dear, we've stopped Thanos. Let's go back in time and stop us ever stopping him in the first place.
They've got to pull a time heist.
That's true. They do a fun heist hour of the movie. Yeah. And then they win the heist, and then they beat up Thanos again.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
that's the plot. Like the most bare bones elements.
Yeah. So like I was honestly like not really like I kind of predicted there would be something like quantum realmy time traveling.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they like fully went for it.
I think like it was to be expected, because they had to somehow like tie in with such a focus on the quantum realm in Ant-Man and the Wasp, at least, and that coming so soon after Infinity War. It was quite obvious there was going to be a big focus on that. But I think it was almost too convenient that everything just worked out.
It was all in Doctor Strange's plan that a rat would walk on the keyboard of Ant-Man's computer
and free him, and then someone would be working to be able to let him out so that he didn't starve to death.
Oh my god, the person who was working was Ken Jeong.
It was, yes. Yeah,
that was really weird.
And then Tony Stark figures out time travel like in a day, successfully just figures it out.
He's like, well, we can't just time travel, that's ridiculous. And then he's like, he looks into it for 5 minutes and he's like, oh, actually we can.
It's just like, I'm going to move this piece of my diagram down, and now time travel works. It was fine, but it was just like there's only so much like stuff. What's the phrase?
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, like there's only so far it can go, and I'm sure Tony is incredibly smart, but I don't think he'd figure it out that quickly. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nitpicky.
What if they had gone 2 days later,
and then he'd figured it out?
Yeah,
I mean, it would have given him some thinking time.
Yeah, like it's not something that bothered me that much. Like that kind of plot stuff. I'm not massively bothered. It was weird though. I'll admit that.
Yeah, it was very strange how it all. It's just not strange, but just very convenient. And
the fact that we had like the first 20 minutes of the movie, and it goes 5 years later.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the like I really liked seeing Thanos like on the farm, and he's won the day, he's achieved what he wanted to, and you're seeing like casual Thanos like doing some farming, just making like a nice soup for himself.
And then Thor chopped his head off, and it was sick.
Yeah, it certainly was.
So like
can we jump ahead in analysis? Just because
we can just jump around wherever if you want. I just want to say that I just want to make it clear that I absolutely despise Thanos as a character. I just hate him. So I was very excited when they immediately killed him, and then he came back later, and I was a bit annoyed.
Thanos sees that himself in the future has succeeded because this movie follows past Thanos, obviously.
Yeah,
and he's seen that he's won. So he just seems like I've won. It doesn't really matter what I do now because I'm the best. I'm the king of the galaxy.
Yeah.
So it feels like we had this quite from what I feel was a very well established Thanos in Infinity War who had a complex character and made decisions, and you could see that he was a clearly developed character with goals and ideals that you're not meant to agree with, but you can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
In this one, he is just, I'm going to kill everything because I've already won. And it's it's really boring to watch because it's I don't know, it's boring.
It's also the rules of time travel in this film are absolutely not established. So they go back in time and change everything, and they come back to the future and it's exactly the same.
Yeah. What they establish is that no matter what they do in the future, as long as they go back in time to the exact point where they got the Infinity Stones from
and
originally,
return the stone immediately,
nothing will change.
Yes,
which is it's just they make such a point of being like time travel doesn't work like time travel in any other movie. It works exactly how we want it to for the plot.
Did you like the scene where they just list 50 time travel movies?
Yep. It's here's all the properties that Disney now own.
It's 50% of all movies.
Do
you know that you know the rat that walks on the keyboard is actually Remy from Ratatouille? It's the crossover they're setting up.
I can believe it. I think Gusto would make a good Avenger as well. Ghost Gusto.
So something I was really excited for after seeing the trailer, was Tony and Nebula in space.
Oh yeah.
And we have a really nice montage that actually shows their relationship really nicely without them saying any words. And then they get back to Earth in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Captain Marvel's just there hello, I'm bringing the plot with me.
Captain Marvel was terrible in this film.
Go on.
She was not in it.
No, but they did shoot this before Captain Marvel. I'm pretty sure.
I would believe it, but also she is the Deus Ex Machina that saves Tony and Nebula. I don't want to sound like CinemaSins here, but
just put a bunch of dings as we talk about shit.
Yeah. So she just saves them.
Yeah.
Then she disappears.
Yeah.
After they kill Thanos, she's in a hologram, and then she doesn't show up until like the last half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because she's like, I have to go and deal with the rest of the universe, and like it's fine. It kind of justifies itself, but it was just a bit disappointing more than anything because I wanted to see her like be integrated more into the Avengers.
There was something that I noticed very strongly, which was it's just a bunch of white dudes. This film, that's all it is.
There's that one woman.
Oh yeah, they kill.
Wait, are we talking about the same person?
Probably.
No,
Scarlett Johansson.
No, there's the woman from Black Panther. I forget her name.
Okoye.
Okoye, yeah.
She's not in the film.
She's a hologram. And then
I'm not
she's
counting
at the end. No, I totally get you though. Like it was a incredibly heavily dominated movie in terms of casting.
It's the fact that like, okay, so you've got all the like original Avengers and like, yeah, like we can't go back in time and make it so some of them were women.
No, but
the choice to kill off the one woman who was there is a bit of a yikes moment for me.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, I think that whole scene was just a bit of a mess anyway.
What, the one where they're getting the Soul Stone?
Yeah, like,
it reminded me too strongly of the scene from Infinity War, and I guess it was always going to.
Yeah, I kind of had to.
That scene was like, that was the scene that like made me turn on Infinity War, like how poorly they did it in that film.
Oh really?
Yeah, so Thanos is our villain.
Yeah.
And the moment where he murders his daughter, who is like one of our heroes and a character that we like, instead of focusing on like her, we spend the scene like staring at Thanos' dumb crying face. And like it pisses me off so much, and like that just entire thing, and I think like the scene in this one was obviously done better because like Hawkeye and Scarlett Johansson, I don't know why I call her by her actress's name, but like they're both characters that we like, and so I mean, like we understand the relationship between them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I hadn't really thought about it like that before.
But again, instead of focusing on Scarlett Johansson in this scene, we're looking at Jeremy Renner, who's like sad about the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. And like, I don't know. Me personally, I don't really care about either character because they've only been established in.
Oh no, they have absolutely not been developed at all.
No.
Like, what the things we know about their characters are that they are friends.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, because you have to sacrifice like someone you love, and I'm like, are we supposed to know that they have like a secret, deeper connection and love for each other?
Oh no,
established.
I mean, that's like their one defining trait in the first
Avengers. Is that they're
Avengers.
like best friends?
Yeah, that's literally it.
I guess, but either way, like Hawkeye's whole character is that he is just a dad, and he has a family, and Scarlett Johansson is woman. She do gun and kick.
She has a mysterious past where she did bad things.
Yeah. And
that's it. And then in this movie, they just have Hawkeye disappear for 5 years, like murdering mob bosses.
Yeah.
And then he comes back to join the team, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, they make a big thing of it. They're like, I don't know if we want to find him, and then they find him, and he's like, oh, I'll join the team. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'll come do some time travel shenanigans. Why not? I got nothing better to do than kill Japanese mafia mobs.
Also, that bit was like, that I don't want to say it's like racist, but the fact that he's like going around with like a samurai sword killing Asian men is just like, it was a bit much for me.
Well, that's like the whole persona in the comic, isn't it? Because he becomes what is he? He becomes like
called, Ronin.
Ronin, yeah, which is like a Is Ronin?
It's like a lone
samurai that has no master or something.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it might be in the comics. I'm still not a big fan of it.
No, but yeah.
I mean, I am a white man. I'm not gonna call out Marvel for cultural appropriation because I don't know enough about it. But like,
No.
Do you want to get to the elephant in the room?
Go
or
on.
should I say, the Asgardian god in the room?
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, go on. Because I've got.
I actually even felt bad doing that. The movie's full of fat jokes.
Yeah.
At Thor's expense.
Yep. I was I had some drinks with someone tonight, a friend of mine, and we were talking about this, and he said he loved Thor and thought it was really funny. I was like, he was like, he didn't really explain it because I was very quick to chime in with like, but it was just we don't really need unnecessary fat jokes in like this multi-million Hollywood big blockbuster.
Like, Marvel are making a really big effort to try and like be more diverse and be more inclusive, and then in the biggest movie they've ever done, they just throw in a load of like lame, unthoughtful fat jokes.
Yeah.
They were like straight out of the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
These are the jokes that you would see in like Scary Movie.
Or like some terrible Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, oh my god.
I forgot his name. I was going to call him Aaron Sandler then. It was an interesting choice at best to do that. Because it felt like a really lazy way to deal with Thor's guilt from the previous movie. They sort of touch upon it, and then it's never really brought up again. Like Thor is obviously very upset and very ashamed of that he couldn't kill Thanos and what happened and the fallout. He feels like everything's on him.
Yeah,
and then
like
Rocket just slaps him, and he's like, "That's all we're going to talk about it for the entire movie."
When you've had something like traumatic and awful happen like this, you could understand like a spiral into like depression and alcoholism.
Yeah.
It's like if they put that in the movie and like dealt with it appropriately, I'd be like, hey, that's pretty interesting and pretty like a pretty good thing for this big movie to address. Yeah. And they put it in the movie and they only used it for comedy.
Yeah, but that's Thor now. He's just a comedy man. He doesn't have a character anymore. He's just funny joke man. Oh my god.
No, right. So they did Thor Ragnarok, and then the Russo brothers have got Thor, and they've gone, oh, he's the joke character. Except they've taken all the wrong points from Thor Ragnarok. They've just backtracked all his character development, and it's horrible. Yeah.
Maybe if they kept it in like the first scene that you see him, and like, oh, you see he's gotten out of shape and he's turned to drink because he doesn't know what else to do, and then he comes back to the Avengers, and they're like, we know that you're suffering, we're all suffering, we're going to help you get through this because we've got a plan to fix everything. But instead, that would
have been really good. Instead, they're just mean to him.
Yeah, Iron Man's just like, hey, Big Lebowski, fatty bum, you're in the way. It's just like, what's the point? But that's like, it just felt like such playground like name calling, and it wasn't. I get that Tony. It goes back a bit more cynical and narcissistic in this movie.
Yeah,
but I don't feel he'd go to that extent. Like Thor is someone you would imagine he'd consider a friend at this point. Like,
yeah, absolutely. And
Tony, of all people, has been there. He flew into outer space. He's had these horrific visions and has dealt with like anxiety. This is the plot of Iron Man 3
that he's like dealing with PTSD.
And now he's just like, haha, I don't have it anymore. Now you do. It's just handled so poorly. This is going to be the one aspect of the film that's going to age the worst, I think.
I feel like it's already horrible. Like, for me, when I think about, like, what I thought of the movie, no matter how much of it I enjoyed, the whole, like, way the film treats Thor is just, like, souring the whole thing for me.
Yeah, I get that entirely. But what were you going to say before? Anyway, I was just finishing my point.
Oh, well, we're talking about, like, we hated Thor's whole thing. The fat jokes were the only time my cinema laughed.
Oh, that's sad.
It was sad. Really bad. And honestly, I saw the film the way it was meant to be seen, in a full theatre, just a million miles away from the person I came to see it with, because we didn't book tickets.
Oh dear.
She was in row C, and I was in row L.
Oh no! Oh no!
So that was... yeah.
I was trying to think if any, like, what other jokes were in the film, or that were like... I think people liked a lot of, like, cynical Iron Man a little bit when he, like, makes the digs or whatever. When he calls, like, Rocket a Build-A-Bear or whatever.
Yeah, that got a big laugh, and I was like, it's not really a joke, is it?
No, it's a statement of you're a corporate entity.
Does Disney own Build-A-Bear as well?
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. With the amount of crossovers they have. But no, like, the entirety of Thor's character. I was watching a review the other day, and someone was saying it was really great that Thor stayed, like, fat and out of shape, because it shows that anyone can be a hero.
I was kind of gonna say that, but that's not the point. The treatment of him doesn't improve. Like, if he was out of shape at the start of the film, and he magically became thin when he joined the Avengers again, like, that would be really bad. And he did stay, like, fat throughout the movie. Yeah. Which, like, okay, but they were still telling jokes about him for the whole film. Yeah.
And it wasn't a point of... It wasn't to make a point of anyone, any shape or size can be a hero. It was just, we need this gag character to have a gag.
Yeah.
What's the easiest one to make? He's fat now, lol.
And he plays Fortnite.
Noob Slayer 69, I'm going to come to your house and kill you. And I'm like, what the... God, awful. Awful.
That was terrible. It was so bad.
It cemented my hatred for Korg even more.
Oh no! Oh no, he was Korg. Just like he shouldn't have been in this film.
No.
Or he should have at the end when every character you've ever seen turned up. But like, Jesus, that Fortnite scene was awful.
Oh, after Wreck-It Ralph, because Bruce in the cinema, we sort of joked before that there was going to be like a Fortnite reference in it, and I was like, no way, they won't do it, because like this is the biggest like cinematic event of the decade. They're not going to put a Fortnite reference in it, and then they fucking did, and it was so, it was just so corny and just so like forced in.
It went on for so long as well.
God, it was. I wouldn't even, like, if they'd just been playing it and they hadn't even mentioned it and it's just on the telly, I'd be like, that's fine. But it's just that they directly cut to gameplay of Fortnite. Oh.
Just like Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, God. I don't know what...
Fortnite Cinematic Universe.
Which Disney film used Fortnite worse? Wreck-It Ralph or Marvel?
This one. It was Endgame. It was way worse.
Anyway, what did we like about the film?
I was just about to try and move the subject on, because we've just been shitting on the film for the past 5 minutes.
Go on, what did we like? What was your favourite moment, your standout moment, the bit where you saw a character do something and you punched your fist in the air in excitement?
I'll be honest, I was never that excited for the whole film.
I feel that, to be honest.
The best... Right, I really enjoyed the idea of the time heist.
Yes, yeah.
It's dumb as hell, but they owned it.
Yeah. I remember watching, like, sitting there, and I was like, this is not what I expected the film to do, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like, I sat there and I was like, they've not fought anybody in a while. But you know, I'm still enjoying it. It's still a fun time.
I just remembered my favourite joke in the whole film.
Yeah.
And it's when so they go back to New York in the past, and it's Captain America and Iron Man and Hulk, and Ant-Man's there for some reason.
Yeah.
Captain America's like, Hulk, maybe smash something, and he goes and he like half-heartedly punches a car and like throws a motorbike and goes and that was like my favourite comedy moment in the whole film.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I just remembered that. I liked when Hulk dabbed. That was funny.
The best part is that was 5 years in the future.
Yeah.
So like it's even more outdated.
Oh god. But no, I think that was one of the highlights of the flashback section.
Yeah. The like the whole New York bit was really good. The Thor back in time bit was bad. I think everything that Thor did this film was bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the space team. What was it? Jeremy Renner, Scarlett Johansson, Nebula, Don Cheadle, going to get the stuff in space. That was fine.
It was quite fun. Like them watching Star-Lord was funny.
Yes, that was another really good joke. I think those are my like two favourite jokes in the film, because they did the like the Guardians of the Galaxy music scene, like the original music scene from Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they like took the music away and it was just him like singing it, and that was such a good moment. So
the final fight, I suppose we should talk about.
Oh yeah, with like the thing that everyone's gonna really like about the movie. Like I don't know. I thought the first like 2/3 of the movie were like a lot stronger for me, but like the third, the big fight is gonna be the thing that everyone's into.
Yeah, I guess. I liked seeing Iron Man, Thor, and Cap fight Thanos.
That was fun, but also
that was really
good.
They
should have won really easily.
Yes, but considering this is Thanos, what, 5 years in the past?
With no Infinity Stones.
No, he's just got a big fucking sword thing
that he can spin around fast enough to like deflect bullets or something.
Yeah,
it's so dumb.
I don't know, like the power balancing in this movie was really weird.
We need Dragon Ball Z power levels for everyone, so we can see what everyone's doing. Right, I keep calling things fanficky. The most fanficky thing that happened in the movie happened in that scene.
Yeah.
Where Captain America picks up Thor's hammer.
Yeah. I mean, that's like directly from the comics. Like, it was going to happen in this movie, if anything.
Yes. It's still so cheesy.
Yeah.
And like people in the cinema were loving it, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
It was like, I thought it was really cool because like we had that moment in Ultron where he like nudges the hammer when he's trying to pick it up.
Yeah.
And then like with Thor being like, I knew it. Like, it was just a really nice culmination of that in showing that Cap has come so far to be deemed worthy by the gods of being like just and honourable.
But he's like always been a perfect boy.
Yeah, but now he's got electric. he's even better now.
The hammer doesn't have electric powers. It's just a hammer.
Yeah.
Thor has the electric powers.
Yeah.
Why could Captain America do the electric powers?
Does the maybe the hammer can like summon thunder?
Maybe I didn't think it could.
It like summons lightning or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So that big final battle.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
It was quite something. Yeah.
There was some really cool like long shots though, like where the camera is like spinning around and like going between everyone, and it's just like all these characters fighting, and like it was very impressive.
I think something that kind of irked me, however, was the shot at like everyone's come back. Doctor Strange has just summoned everyone through the portals, and we're like, finally, after a year of waiting, everyone's back, everyone's alive,
everyone is here.
And then and then they all jump into battle, and you see everyone on screen for like a split second before it like goes off. And I'm just like, if there was any moment to ever hold a shot and just do the Avengers trill, where it's like da 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 da. I don't know how it goes.
I was trying to think how the Avengers music goes. I could only come up with the Guardians of the Galaxy music, but it's probably because I've watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 like 8 times. But yeah, that was a really good moment.
If they just held it for like a couple seconds, and you can spot your favorite heroes in the crowd, and then like I deliberately only looked for Spider-Man, so I like missed the entire shot. But then like, why couldn't they just held it and like, I don't know, just make more of a moment of everyone after 10 years coming together, being in the same place.
The problem was they spent like a lot of time. Just we spent so long watching individual people walk through the portals, and then we got like 2 shots where the camera kind of like swung around like through the battle, and we see like people doing stuff, and that lasts like 10 seconds.
We got a good like 20-second shot of all the women being like,
okay,
we're the women. And that's not like that. I don't mean that in a horrible way. But
no,
it was just like.
It was so obvious like, what they were doing, and they did it very badly.
I think because we were talking about this the other day, and like I liked in Infinity War when all the women are fighting the evil woman, and it kind of just happens. Like you're not thinking about it; they don't make a point of it, but it is just
it's
the women...
obvious. It's obvious that's what they're doing, but they're not like it's the woman scene.
But this one was just like, she's got help, and everyone just turns up. Just all the women just conveniently are there. Oh.
Yeah, that was really bad.
I did like seeing Gwyneth Paltrow in her Iron Man suit.
Yeah, that was fun.
Cool.
Yeah,
and then she like got back to back with Tony, and they were like shooting stuff.
Yeah, and the fact that Tessa Thompson arrived like on a Pegasus was like so cool. And like I really liked the bit where it was like characters like picking up the Infinity Gauntlet and like running with it.
Yeah, it's just like, a big rugby game. Basically.
That was a fun idea, and like everyone working together to do that. Also, I was just reminded constantly of how much I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's just so good. It's when Captain Marvel like flies down and he's like, I'm Peter Parker, and it's like you've just met this woman. You're gonna reveal your secret identity, you sweet young man.
He doesn't know what else to do. Maybe he's intimidated by powerful women. Spider-Man, it did not get enough love. But then I suppose he's getting like the next movie, so it doesn't really matter.
My favourite Spider-Man thing in this film is the fact that they all come back, all the dead people come back.
Yeah.
And it's 5 years in the future, but like no time has passed for them for whatever reason. Or something. And then Spider-Man goes straight back to school, and his friends are still in school.
This is the thing. Did everyone at Peter's school conveniently get Thanos snapped? And then when Tony Stark set everything right again, conveniently they all came back and just happened to be the exact same. I don't know. I think it's like
all the characters from Spider-Man got snapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's poorly explained.
Because I was trying to figure out if when Iron Man snapped, if he reversed time fully.
He did not.
No, because his daughter's in the future, obviously.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, that doesn't make sense for why Spider-Man and everyone is still at school. Well, it makes sense for why Peter Parker is, but like, why are all his friends still in the exact same class? Why are they all the same age?
I feel like we just have to go with it.
Yeah, but I don't want to go with it. I want it well explained.
It's just incredibly weird.
Yeah.
Like, why did they even do the 5 years later?
Yeah, yeah. Why? I don't know, because like the whole film kind of plays as if it hasn't. Well, other than like Ant-Man finding his daughter,
but like
nothing
that
really
doesn't matter, does it?
Well, no, it was a nice moment.
Yeah,
I care about Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I like the first movie. The second one's a bit naff, but I like the first one.
Right. Before I even saw the film, like there was one spoiler that I saw, and it wasn't really a spoiler. But it kind of revealed for me that Bucky came back to life, or whatever. But it was every scene after the big fight, Bucky has his hands in his pockets because they couldn't be bothered to animate his arm. I
did not realise that.
So at the funeral...
Is that real?
Yeah, at the funeral he stood with his hands in his pocket. And when they're sending Captain America back in time, he's got his hands in his pockets again. And when they have a hug, his arms are off screen because they didn't want to do his arm. It's so funny.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
You know, it was 3 hours long. And it absolutely felt like it was 3 hours long.
Yeah. Everyone was like, oh, it goes really quickly. It was the best 3 hours of my life. And I was like, really? It felt like 3 hours. It felt like a very long 3 hours.
It felt like 3 different films.
Yeah. I think as well it didn't help because our cinema seats were so uncomfortable. So around like the middle of the heist section, I'm there like shuffling like every 5 minutes. I'm like, this is really comfy. And then like for the entire fight, I'm just like trying to rework myself in the seat so I can actually like enjoy the movie.
Let's talk about Hulk for like a quick little second. What do you think of it? Do you think it was really weird?
I enjoyed like Scientist Hulk as a character.
I thought he was really fun.
A fun way to take Banner, but I just wish we'd seen a bit of that development on screen, rather than we get a really interesting dynamic set up in Infinity War, and then come this film they just go, oh, it happened.
Yeah,
they fixed it.
So, before the movie, I was kind of hoping maybe this movie will make me like Infinity War more.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be Infinity War 2, isn't it? But
yeah,
it didn't feel like that at all.
No.
It has not, like, changed anything about Infinity War for me. I still, like, don't like it that much. And I've not rewatched it, obviously, since I saw this film. I had no time. But
no.
If you didn't like Infinity War, this isn't going to be the thing that changes your mind, because it's not as connected as it probably should be.
Yeah, definitely. It did what I was worried about, and it just kind of makes the entirety of Infinity War like null and void.
Yes,
which is a bit disappointing.
No, it does more than that. It makes the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe null and void because they changed history.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Also, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, is Thor just going to be in it now?
Well, I was wondering that. Well, this is what I was going to talk about. Like, what's going to happen next for the MCU? So we've got Spider-Man, obviously. I don't know if Thor's going to be a mainstay in Guardians. I imagine like it's the perfect place to put him. Because they are like they're down a character with Gamora still missing.
I feel like the plot of the next film is going to be like Thor joins the team, and they go and find Gamora, and like that's the whole thing.
Or are they going to try and find a way to bring back old Gamora? That's going to be the plot.
If they do that, it'll be really stupid.
Well, that's what I thought. Because I was like, maybe when Cap returned the Soul Stone, they came back to life. Maybe.
Oh,
and
right.
That's why. That's why he was looking on the computer. Peter Quill was searching for Gamora. Was he searching for the old Gamora? I was quickly shot down. Everyone said he was searching for the current Gamora, or the past Gamora.
It's because
she went missing.
Yeah, she wasn't in the funeral scene. Like
No.
she must have just buggered off somewhere.
Yeah, it'll just be interesting if they're gonna try and like rehash the love story arc between Gamora and Quill.
I think
like
they probably will, but it's going to be really weird because you're going to have to do the same thing you did in the first and second Guardians movie in one movie.
Yeah, unless they're just going to do it so that she doesn't care about him.
Maybe, I don't know.
Gamora does her own thing and realizes she doesn't need to be with Peter Quill.
Yeah,
because he's a silly man.
He is a silly man.
He goes, okay, let's just listen to some Footloose music. I love Kevin Bacon. And that's the whole plot.
That's the plot of Guardians 3.
And then Korg is there, and they kick him.
No. Korg is there, and they make him a good character again.
I don't know if they could do that. He's too busy playing Fortnite now. He'll just be streaming.
Oh my god, Korg becomes a Fortnite streamer.
Thank you, Peter Quill, for the 200 bits. I don't know what he sounds like, but he sounds like that now.
No, that's spot on. Thank you, Starlord69, for the subscription.
But yeah, like, because they had the the Scarlett Johansson movie for Black Widow.
I think it's like an origin story, and they're getting a different actress to do it.
Well, what's the point then?
Money?
Yeah, it's a bad point to do it.
No, I feel like doing like prequels and origin stories is weird for like the Marvel movies, because they're always about like setting up the next thing. If you go back and do an origin story, it's really weird.
Yeah, because we've already seen like a full character arc, and I can't really. Does anybody care about her origin story?
Probably not. I would prefer if they brought in a new female character.
Yeah.
Instead of like let's do a whole thing for this one, our one woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know what's next for the Marvel movies. Hopefully, they won't immediately start setting up the next big thing.
What, in terms of like the next big like crossover movie or something?
Yes. So it took them like 20 movies to get to this one, which is just far too much. I don't like the crossover movies. That's like my opinion on this. Like, I always prefer the solo movies, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm not bothered if they don't rush in setting up the next big overarching story.
I don't even know like who it would feature though, because like now that the mainstays of the Avengers have like gone off, who's going to be the main unit that the MCU is going to rally behind?
Well, they're going to have to like set up relationships between the new characters, because they kind of only kind of connected them to the existing characters in like, so like the whole thing in like Infinity War, you've got Doctor Strange and Iron Man are like pals.
Yeah.
And like Black Panther and Captain America are pals, but like there's no connection between like Spider-Man and Black Panther. Like, they don't know each other.
No. Well,
like, how are they?
They were on the same team in Civil War.
They won. Yes. No. Yes, they were. Yeah. God, it's been a long time since I watched Civil War. But like, yeah, it's gonna be really weird bringing together all these other characters.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you remember the end of Age of Ultron, where Captain America and Black Widow are like, we've got to get the new team in shape, and it's like Falcon and Scarlet Witch and the War Machine, and then like they don't do anything.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that, because that's when he says Avengers Assemble for like the first time.
No, he says Avengers, and then the film ends.
Oh, blimmin' heck. What do I know?
This is why I predicted that Cap saying Avengers Assemble would be a really big epic moment in this film, and it was.
It was pretty epic. Epic gamer moment.
With Korg. Oh
dear.
Do you think that'll do? Do you think that's it for Avengers Endgame?
Yeah, I don't think we talked positively enough about the film.
It's fine.
Let's end on our favourite moment from the film that we haven't mentioned so far.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to.
I'll go first. Give you some thinking time.
Yeah, sure.
My favourite moment was when Thanos tried to headbutt Captain Marvel, and she just smiled at him because he's shit.
My favourite moment was when Nebula shot Nebula.
That was pretty good, to be fair.
No, it's so stupid. Oh my god. No, I hated that moment, actually.
Well, it was the favourite section, not least favourite.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. We were trying to put a positive spin on things. I've just ruined it. No, right, okay. I don't want to, like, just go back into things, but I just want to say that that moment was really bad because they could... If they made... Gamora, like, made Nebula trying to explain to other past Nebula, like, why she should, like, not be on Thanos' team. They needed Gamora to do it because... That's, like, the relationship that turns Nebula, like, onto their side. So, oh my god, that just annoyed me a lot. Right, a good moment.
Even, like, just any moment from the film.
Oh.
Just a moment.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry anyone who liked this movie. Wait. Oh, the counselling session. No, wait, no, not the counselling session. The bit where, Captain America and Black Widow sit and eat sandwiches.
Yeah.
That was... I liked that a lot. And I was like, gosh, Scarlett Johansson's really doing some acting in this scene. Yeah. Like, I thought that bit was a really good bit.
Yeah, I remember that scene happening.
Do you not agree?
I thought it was alright. I just don't really care about, like, Scarlett Johansson's character.
That's fair. I like her a lot from the Winter Soldier movie. I thought she was good in that.
I've not seen that in a long time.
That's kind of where my, like, affinity for her comes from.
Yeah, I can see that.
Final thoughts. Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Endgame was okay.
Yep, it is a movie that felt like it was written by two 11-year-olds. And they said, you know what would be really cool? Captain America picks up the hammer and he hits Thanos with it. And the other one goes, yeah, and they all go back in time and the Hulk hits Iron Man and Loki picks up the cube and disappears. That's my impression of the Russo brothers.
That's your impression of two 11-year-old boys. Oh,
what's the difference?
Cracking. Oh dear.
Jesus Christ! Thanks everyone for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Ramble about this film for like an entire hour. It won't be an hour when I put it out.
Hope you have a lovely day, everyone.
Oh yeah. Have a good one.
Hope if you liked the movie, let us know in the comments below and say what your favourite moment was.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about all the bad things I said.
If you didn't like the movie, let us know in the comments below and let us know what your least favourite moment was. When we're catering perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Ah. Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.